Hello everybody and welcome to the final third, and today we're going to be reacting to the Premier League Matchweek 18 results. A lot of good results. It's very hard to predict the games that are happening in the league this season. And also we will be giving you our predictions for Matchweek 19 as well at the end of the video. So just result reaction and prediction at the end. Before we jump into that, Al, do you want to give us the player from the last video?
Yes, it was George Best. A bit of a party animal back in his day. Probably ruined his footballing career, but there you go. A legend. So, yeah.
Definitely. Rate him, especially as Man United fans. But let's move on to the first game reaction. And as Man United fans, we are very happy with this result. We beat Newcastle 1-0 at Old Trafford, keeping a clean sheet for the first time in what seems... You know what the funny thing is? The last time we kept a clean sheet was against Sunderland. So yeah,
the 2nd October, I
against
think.
both Newcastle sides. So yeah, happy with that. Yeah, I'm gonna start with Ali first because again he watched the game as almost a neutral. Ali, you know, with Newcastle, really and truly, if we're honest with ourselves, they probably deserve to win the game with the way they played, especially in the second half. They dominated that game, but there was a lack of quality in the attacking areas. When they get close to the box, it seems like they're nervous. I mean, let's be honest, Lemens didn't really have much to do himself in terms of making a world-class save, or do you know what I mean? What do you think is the issue with Newcastle, especially at least in this game, you know?
Honestly, it's really hard to pinpoint where the problem is because, like, to be fair, like, I don't know, because they're doing really well to get into the box. They go into the box a lot. But I just don't know. Maybe you could argue Man United just defended really well. Maybe it's not... Look, obviously Newcastle do clearly have problems because they're not doing that, you know, maybe to their standards this season. They're not doing so great. Maybe you could argue they need a better right winger because obviously they brought Alanga. He hasn't really done well. Anthony Gordon, obviously a great player. I mean, Harvey Barnes came on and tried to do something. But again, I just don't know. Maybe you could argue it's the wingers. But for me, I don't know. They played really well. They create, you know, they got into the box and, you know, scared United a couple of times, but clearly it just wasn't enough. Whether it's the finishing, whether it's creating chances, clear-cut chances. I don't know. It's really hard to pinpoint where it is, but because, like, when you look at the team on paper, they have a great team in each, like, facet of the team. Like, goalkeeper, when Nick Pope's there, great keeper. When you look at the defence, they do have a pretty solid defence.
Some might disagree with you, actually. Apparently Nick Pope is a bit shaky.
I think, honestly, no. I think this, like, right. I think this season he's had some good performances, to be honest. However, anyway, defence I think is pretty good. The midfield is pretty good. And the attack seems pretty good. Voltemada as well. He's a great striker. But, again, you know, if they don't make clear-cut chances, then Voltemada doesn't really add too much to their attack, if I'm being honest.
Lovely assisted Dorgu, in my opinion.
Yeah, but apart from that, like, unfortunately, unless he gets clear-cut chances, he's kind of like an Erling Haaland in that sense. Yeah, like, okay, his dribbling's really good, to be fair to him and stuff. But I feel like he doesn't maybe necessarily offer enough going forward unless he's given, like, clear-cut chances. So, yeah, maybe that's the problem. I don't know. Yeah, but...
Yeah, fair enough. Also, before I jump to Hassan, remember we were discussing how Ruben Amorim will never change his formation. He went with a back four, believe it or not.
Fair enough. I mean,
took us by surprise, to be fair.
Yeah,
fell under the pressure, surprise. Clearly. And in defence, we looked way more solid because there was more of a midfield, and obviously. Our fullbacks weren't pushing up so high, or the wing backs, and we had a more compact defence. So it looked like defensively it worked out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. First half, we looked like the better team for sure. But I think second half is when he started to change to a 5-back. Is when he kind of like capitulated.
Defensive, yeah, he went really
I thought his substitutions were a bit odd, if I'm being honest. But
I think it's just change of legs.
I think
just,
Mason Mount
protecting players.
looked like he might have picked up kind of a knock. Not really.
He did.
I think he's in training at the moment, and obviously we play in 2 games' time, so we need someone like Mason Mount in the team. But let's talk about one man, probably the man of the game. Patrick Dorgu, looking like Mr. Prime Gareth Bale on that right wing. I'm joking, obviously, but yeah, he had a great performance on the right wing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
Yeah, 100%. I agree. I mean, I've been giving Dorgu a lot of praise recently. Not for playing that position specifically, but just because the way he tracks back helps out the defense, and just he looks like a really solid player. But offered a bit more something unique that we haven't seen from him at United, playing at right wing. But he was very dangerous up front. Had a couple of shots on goal. So just. It was a very good performance from him. He looks like a player that can be comfortable playing on the right or on the left, which is what we need at United. We need players to be versatile and be played in many options. So he was really good, and I'm really happy for him for getting his first goal. I mean, what a first goal for United. So I'm very happy for him. And I think I think we should just carry on playing a system like this to get the results, because that's what Amram needs. Right now it's not really important to play a specific style of football, just to right now ease off the AFCON absentees and the injury of Bruno as well, just to get points as much as possible. And I feel like that's the most important thing for United right now, and for Amram's case as well, because we haven't been getting results. So I feel like that's our main point right now in the season. But there's not really much I can really talk about. I think when you guys say Newcastle deserve to win, I don't think they deserve to win, because they had many chances to score, and when you are given those chances, that's when you need to capitalize on them, and they didn't.
Say our defense, our two centre backs were impeccable, to say the least.
Oh yeah, Martinez and Heaven, 100%. They had a very good game.
I don't even think Newcastle...
And Lemens as well, of course.
Yeah, I don't think Newcastle were necessarily that bad. I think United were just really good defensively that game. And
I agree as well.
They fought off those chances that Newcastle had very well, and I think that's just what the game was. It was just Newcastle were pushing to get that goal, and United did well to prevent it. So fair play to them. But it was good.
I'll mention one more point before we finish talking about United. Manuel Ugarte. Now, he had a lot of criticism. He's had loads of criticism since he's joined the club. This was probably one of his better games for the club, and I think he was quite solid. I feel like with Ugarte, he might be one of those confidence type of players, and he needs to be played on a consistent run of games. Yeah. Now, he started the last game. He started this game. It seems like he's playing with a bit more confidence. Let's see. We're playing against Wolves. Listen, Wolves look like a team that are already down and out. You'd expect us to win that game, as we did literally a couple weeks ago. We have to wait and see. You never know. You never know. They could get the first one against us. But I feel like someone like Ugarte needs the confidence. Again, we've got big games coming up. We got Arsenal and Man City back to back after we finish our run of games against after we finish our games against
Wolves.
I think Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley, or something like that. Something along those lines.
Yeah, not easy games to be fair. Leeds are playing really well.
They're not
right
easy
now,
games, 100%. But again, it's better than Man City and Arsenal. So
of course,
we'll have to see if he can build up some confidence.
I think let's also talk about Heaven as well before we move on, because Heaven, what a performance from him. Man of the match performance. Very comfortable on the ball. Just give me he oozes a bit of Rio Ferdinand. You know what I mean? His passing was impeccable.
He's very
Did he fall from
great
heaven?
Defending.
That's how
as
good
well.
he is, bro. It feels like he's from heaven.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally.
I'm happy for him, man.
Yeah, he's a great young player and doesn't get pressed that much. But let's move on to the next game. We've discussed that game for a very long while. So the next game is Forest Manchester City, getting a very important result. Manchester City 2-1 win, led by the magic of Ryan Cherky. Now this player has done very, very well. He's actually joint top assister in the Premier League at the moment. What do we think of him? Ryan
Cherky? Oof. What a player, honest to God, man. He is actually something else, and I don't know. He's just really, really.
£30 million, by the way.
Huh?
£30 million, by the way.
Honestly, what a steal, to be fair. Bargain of the season, easily. To be fair, I think he will be signing of the season, if I'm being honest. For the price
100%.
And for the output. He's I don't know, it's just like you say, he oozes class, and the way he just is so creative on the ball. He's very skillful. He's such a joy to watch. As simple as that. That's how you perfectly encapsulate him. He is just an absolute joy to watch, because he just embodies a skillful player. He's not afraid to take on a man. He's not afraid to do a skill move here and there. and usually he pulls them off, which is like, not many players can do. But yeah, he's got a very good IQ of football as well. Like some of the passes he makes as well are just so good. But
He's
he's
both
a hell of
footed
a
as well.
player, man. Yeah. Now he's a dangerous player. He is a dangerous player, man. So City have got an amazing player on his hands, but we all knew he was going to be an amazing player, to be fair, when he came to the Prem. So yeah, I mean, the ceiling for him, there is no ceiling. There's no limit to where he can go, to be honest. So yeah.
100%. As a footballer, he's very exciting, and to be fair, he's been around for a while. He's been around for the last 5 years. So I remember him 5 years ago. People were talking about Ryan Cherky being a big talent, but now he's really starting to sort of make a name for himself in terms of actually being effective. There's one thing being very talented, and there's another thing actually getting results in terms of goals, assists, and being very impactful on games. So fair play to him. But let's discuss Forest, and I feel like Forest gave City a good game, to be fair. Only 2-1, and looked quite good in the game. They are, 5 points clear of the relegation zone. Sorry, Al. They are 5 points clear, but it looks like they can get more results to keep them safe. What do we think about that, Hassan?
Yeah, I think Sean Dyche has done an excellent job since coming. He's brought some stability to the club. Compared to what Postecoglou did, he's doing a much better job. And I think he's trying to grind out as many results as he can, but he's getting the best out of his team. You can tell that. I mean, obviously, City dominated every stat, but you can tell in the game they wanted to try and get something from the game, which you got to respect. I mean, we know City is going to win the game because City are just City. You know what I mean? They're in form right now. They're playing really well, so you don't expect Forest to win. But they gave him a good game, as you said, and I feel like the goalkeeper in that game, he made some excellent saves.
Yeah.
And also Elliot Anderson, we've spoken about him since the start of the season. He's been very key for Forest, and he had a very good game too. So yeah, I think Forest now they're in a good place. They're not in the relegation zone. They're playing good football. So it's just all about them, getting results now. And I think they will. When they play against teams to similar levels or below them, they could definitely start getting results. And hopefully for them to stay in the Premier League, which I do think is a strong chance they will.
Yeah, 100%. So they've sort of gave City a good game, and that might, give them a bit of momentum maybe, and depending on how they do in the next couple of games. But let's move on to the next game. It is Arsenal versus Brighton. Arsenal winning 2-1, and their top goal scorer striking again, own goals. Absolutely, what a player, unbelievable. Scoring so many goals for Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Might even be their top goal scorer this season. Anyway, only a 2-1 win, but again, what we talk about with Arsenal is they need to keep it up. They need to keep the wins going, but you're right, they are not being convincing. What do we think about Arsenal? And also, Declan Rice also played at right back, covering for, I believe, the injured Timber. Yeah, he's injured. But Gabriel is back, so what do we think?
Look, they've got, in my opinion, I don't think they have any excuses anymore, right? We've talked about so many times how they've got, the best squad depth arguably in the league. Probably not even arguably. They have the best squad depth in the league, right? Better than Man City's, better than anyone in the league, right? So there's no excuses, you could, because you could argue in the seasons before when they bottled the league, Saliba got injured and they had no one to replace him that was good enough and stuff like this. But now with the squad depth they have, they need to be winning. Look, the good thing for them is they are winning these games, okay? So you got, as much as I've been shitting on them, I have to give them credit. Like, they're still managing to get through these games and grinding out the wins. And to be fair to Arsenal this game, they were very good and very unlucky to not score more goals, if anything, right? But then again, that's also a problem in itself, not being able to finish off chances. Look, if they can keep up, these kind of results and, grinding out wins, and then that's okay. But the problem is, in my opinion, isn't these kind of games. It's more the big games. Because if you can't dominate the easier games, then what chance are they going to have when they have to play a bigger squad, a bigger team, sorry. I mean, they've already proven this season that they can't do it against bigger teams. They've drawn with Chelsea, they've lost to Villa, they've drawn with City, and then they've also lost to Liverpool. Okay? They got Villa next, which is a big game, because Villa are on a 10-win streak, whereas Arsenal, there was a Villa chasing Arsenal in the title race. Obviously, look, I don't think Villa at the end of the season will be in the title race. Unfortunately, I just don't think it'll be sustainable for them. Especially because as good as they are, I don't think their squad depth will be enough. As much as I'd love to see it, I just think eventually it will collapse and probably the squad depth's going to screw them over. So if they can win that game, Arsenal, then it gives me a bit of confidence to think, yeah, maybe they can go on to win the league. But at the moment, I'm still like, was it on the fence with it? You know what I'm saying? The jury's still out for Arsenal. Until they can, maybe beat a Villa or beat a City, the jury's still out. The jury's still out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, 100%. I also wanted to mention one more point. David Raya, that save you made was unbelievable. Probably going to be the save of the season, in my opinion, unless somebody makes an even better save than that, which I don't think anybody has so far this season. As someone who plays in goals, I can appreciate the fact that it's so hard because it's in the top corner, full stretched, and gets just enough on it to put it over the bar. So it's a beautiful save. Maybe going on to the Brighton side of things, it's sort of the way they've been in the Premier League, consistently inconsistent. They haven't actually won in their last 5 Premier League games. It's lost, draw, which is not a good sort of thing. But again, they're still in that sort of, they're only 5 points off 6th. So not awful, but again, the league, like we say, is starting to shape up. So what do you think they need to do to sort of maybe push for the top half?
I think they need to sort out the defense. I think they've been conceding a lot of goals and just goals that they shouldn't be conceding in general. Very sloppy defense. I think the goalkeepers, tried to make it less of an embarrassing result because I think Arsenal had a lot of chances on goal. So yeah, you can't rely on a goalie every single game to, carry you and get results. Like, of course, the goalkeeper is a big aspect of that, but the players outfield need to do a better job, especially defense. I don't think they did a good job. I think the attacking of Brighton is good. Like, I think they gave Arsenal a game. Like, I think they tried to keep possession of the ball, tried to have a few chances at Raya, but obviously Raya was on smoke today, so I mean, fair enough. But I think that it's not good from them because I think Brighton do deserve to be higher up because they've had very good performances, this season, but just not been consistent, as you said. So at the same time, do they really deserve to be up there? I don't think so. So I think once they can sort out the defense and just play better football, because they've been quite sloppy at the back. So I think that if they do get a bit more consistency and better defenders, maybe the January transfer window, I don't know how much money they've got to spend on players, but if they are able to spend money on players, I think defense is one of the key areas they should spend it on.
100%. But I say we move on to the next game. A game where Brentford smashed Bournemouth 4-1. We talk about how good Brentford are at home, and they've proved it again. Big 4-1 win. Sharda with a hat-trick. Unbelievable. Again, they've got a lot of goal-scoring options, and we talked about how Wissa and Mbeumo leaving the club would have affected them badly. But again, they've got players like Thiago, obviously second in the goal-scoring charts. Sharda just scoring a hat-trick. I mean, Otara's on AFCON now, but he was doing well for them as well beforehand. And even to be fair, his replacement, Lewis Potter, scored 2 goals against Wolves to win him the game. So it looks like goals is not an issue for them. And also, that bizarre on goal as well. That was a strange one. I don't know whether you've seen it. It took like 4 touches off different Bournemouth players before it went in. Yeah. So what do you think?
Look, I think Brentford are a perfect example of how a club should be run. I mean, you see how they lost the manager, they lost their 2 key players, and they've gone on to do still great. Yeah, me and Carlos obviously had them to get relegated this season. And my God, have they absolutely blown us out the waters in terms of expectations. So I have to apologise, hold my hand up, because I was completely wrong. I thought they would capitulate. I thought they would be this would be it for them. But they've gone on and they've persevered and they've carried on the great club that they are. You get what I'm saying? That they've been since the last season and the last few seasons since they've been in the Prem. But yeah, no, fair play. What game from Sharda. I've been giving him some credit as well this season because I think he's a great player, and he's been a very key player for Brentford this season as well. Not just Watara and these and Thiago. I think Charlotte's been very vital to how they play, and he scored a perfect hat trick. Left foot, right foot, and a header. So you don't see that too often. But fair play to Shada. Yeah, I think he deserves it because he's been really good for Brentford. And yeah, no, it's an amazing performance from Brentford, but I'd say it's a bit more worrying than for Bournemouth because yeah, the fall off from them has been absolutely crazy, to be honest.
100%. I mean, if you look at the game itself, it was way more even in terms of play. I mean, Bournemouth really did threaten, but Kelleher had one of the games of his life. I think he made like what 9 saves or something like that.
8 or 9,
pushing
something
double
like that.
digits, like 8 or 9 saves. I mean,
Yeah.
Semenyo was the man who pulled them out a goal, but it looks like he's going to leave soon. So it's looking kind of dangerous for Bournemouth because they are currently 15th. They are still 9 points clear of the relegation zone. But if, let's say, the teams in the relegation zone start to pick up points, do we think Bournemouth can potentially be pulled into that race? Or, I don't know, what do you guys think?
I think if they carry on, obviously, it could definitely result in that situation because we've seen a lot of games where Bournemouth just conceded a lot of goals. I think they've conceded like 30-something goals this season. It's been, I think, like 33, 34.
33, yeah.
So, yeah, so that's a lot of goals to concede in a season. So like, at this point of the season, it's a lot. So I feel like that is a main concern for them. I think that it was a concern when Dean Huijsen and Kirkes left the club. So obviously that's always going to be a problem for them. We thought at the start of the season, Bournemouth, they're looking good. They made the good signings and everything, but I think defensively you got to criticize them now because 4-4 against United, conceding 4 goals in a game in general is not good, even if you draw. This game 4-1. I think Crystal Palace was 3-3 as well. So just a lot of goals. They've been very open at the back. So there's definitely an area of like concern for them and something that they need to address. As soon as possible because, as you said, they could get into that relegation zone. I do think the attack is good, but obviously, as you said, Semenyo is the main outlet for them. So once he leaves, it's going to be a bigger question mark for them. Like, how are they going to get back from this? They've lost a lot of key players from the transfer window in the summer. So I think they will struggle a lot when Semenyo does leave. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of questions for Iraola. I mean, hopefully he answers them soon because, for Bournemouth fans' sakes, they're going to be really worried about, being in relegation battle now. And I don't think that's something that they want to see because we saw Bournemouth as a very good club with good potential, playing really good football now. It's not a team that we're seeing, do often anymore. So yeah, we need to definitely see, better defending from them.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move on to the next game. Again, we've got a lot of games to still go through. We have probably the dull fest of the weekend. It is Burnley versus Everton. Finished 0-0. I don't know how much you guys want to talk about this game. Again, 0-0 is quite boring. Maybe some might say that Everton deserved to win the game, but Dubravka made 6 saves and was the man of the match in the whole game. So it seemed like it was sort of his match, really.
Yeah, it was just Everton against Dubravka, so I wouldn't really say I wouldn't say it's like a game where you saw both teams trying to win it. It was more of Everton trying really hard, Burnley just sitting back and hoping that they don't concede.
I think it just shows how reliant Everton are on like Ndiaye and like Grealish.
Yeah,
to get them
I mean, they're losing a lot of good players,
which is understandable because they're such key players. They're such big players and big part of how they play. But
Dewsbury Hall as well.
And Dewsbury Hall as well. But it shows how clearly, the lack of depth that they clearly have in the squad.
100%.
Obviously, they bought Tyler Dibling. Hasn't really played much this season, and he was meant to be a very promising player, a young player, and yeah, it just hasn't really worked out for him at Everton right now. But yeah, no, it's I guess it's a bit worrying.
I think he played this game actually.
Who? Tyler?
He started,
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he hasn't been given a lot of minutes, but he played this game and hasn't really. Hasn't had enough game time to do much. To be fair to him, but
it's not that Gotti situation in United.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think once obviously Ndiaye and Grealish are like back, playing together and stuff. Like you'll see Everton probably get more results again. But they clearly have a massive reliance on those 2 players, and Dewsbury Hall. So without them, it doesn't seem
and a striker issue as well. To be fair.
Of course. So yeah, without those 2 players though on Dewsbury Hall, it doesn't seem like they can get many results or at least convincing ones or anything like that. So yeah, but no, like you say, pretty boring game, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say for Everton, like Barry and Beto, not the duo you want to be seeing at striker. So,
Literally.
I mean, it is pretty bleak for Everton in terms of strikers, but not much I could really say, to be fair. But I mean, you got to give it to Everton; they kept a clean sheet and they're losing key players, so fair enough, I guess.
Not bad, but again, Burnley getting a good result, I guess, to help them. I mean, get closer to West Ham, which is something, I guess, for them. But again, then they've not been very good themselves. So, yeah. Let's move on to the next game. Again, this was a ball fest, so there's not really much we can mention about it. But the next game is Liverpool versus Wolves, and Liverpool scrape a 2-1 win against them. Now, probably over the stats of the game, obviously Liverpool were the better team. And, of course, the moment of the game, the moment that I don't think much of us believed when we saw it, Mr. Florian Wirtz finally gets his first Premier League goal, which I heard some people say it doesn't count because it's against a team that's already been relegated. So it's not a Premier League team, actually. So, do you know what I mean? So, yeah. Yep. What do we think about
that? The question that I asked has been answered now. Was Wolves going to win first or Wirtz going to score first? And he has not only scored, but against Wolves.
Whether literally.
You want to count it or not, that's up to you. But he has scored. So, yeah, he's... won that.
That's off for debate, to be fair, as Hollis was saying.
Look, he scored, so he's beating the debate whether you like it or not.
Can I also say something? He's actually been playing quite well lately. To be honest with you.
Oh yeah, he was good that game. To be honest, he got man of the match.
Liverpool,
I think.
Like we're just haven't been great, but look, he's been playing great. He's got a goal, which fair play. I think he deserves it because he's deserved for how well he's been playing. And yeah, Ekitike with an assist. He's been an absolutely amazing player this season for Liverpool. And I think he's up there as well for potentially being signing of the season. And Gravenberch with a very good goal. I thought it was a pretty good goal.
Nice finish.
Gravenberch. What a finish. And, showing maybe signs of his form coming back from, like last season, like how good he was last season. Frimpong getting an assist, which I think is really big, because he's also another signing that Liverpool made in the summer. But look, obviously, we still talk about the problem that they have in defence. They've conceded against, realistically, the worst team in the league. And look, it's not like they're not allowed to, but maybe it does show worrying signs about how they are defensively. How would they, how would they do up against like bigger teams? Are they able to like hold them off in their attacks? So obviously can't have to wait and see with that. But fair play. Win's a win. Doesn't matter really, bro, does it? But who did they play? Who did they play last time? Brighton, wasn't it? And they won 2-1. No, it was Brighton, I believe. And they won 2-0.
Oh, you talk about Liverpool, who they played?
Yeah, sorry, Liverpool. Yeah.
Didn't they play Tottenham?
It was Tottenham, yeah.
I think it was Brighton before that then, was it? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was.
Anyway, they've gone on a bit of a decent run, so you know what I mean? It's not too bad.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they've won their last 3 games, which again, they were on very poor form before that. So yeah, I just wanted to mention something before we go into the Wolves side of things. Obviously, we know what happened to a legend for both teams, Mr. Diogo Jota. Obviously, rest in peace to him. It was a very nice moment at the beginning of the game when his 2 sons walked out with Van Dijk. And it was nice to see that his wife was there and happy. And, it was nice to see the 2 clubs really sort of make a big sort of like, not statement, but, make a nice moment for him. Remembering him in the nice
tribute,
way.
You know what I mean?
Because a very nice tribute and remembering him in a nice way, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's good to see, his family sort of coping well, or at least smiling. But anyway, we'll go on to the Wolves side of things. And imagine their top goal scorer is a centre-back. I don't know how to say his name. Bueno?
It's a Kinderbar.
Yeah, Kinderbar. Yeah, literally. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Strand Larsen's been dropped from being touted to be a £60 million striker.
There's 2 Buenos as well, by the way.
Well,
I think they're brothers. Are they brothers? I'm not sure.
They might be. One from Uruguay, one from Spain.
Anyway.
Oh, well, there you go. Anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know how. No, because I think
Bueno for them, I guess you can say, but yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Kinder Bueno does come with 2 bars, so you know what I mean.
Exactly. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, we'll talk about Strand Larsen. He is a player who was touted to be £60 million, and a lot of teams were interested in him, including West Ham. And now he just looks
shit.
not even playing.
No, he's just like
Yeah.
he's clearly low on confidence. I mean, I think any fucking player in that team is low on confidence, and can you really blame them? They're getting absolutely
Except for the goalkeeper, because he's actually been tested.
Yeah, but not good for him either, man.
They get all-
not
No, yeah, conceded too many goals,
clean
yeah.
sheet, bro. Like, poor guys. Honestly, I think there's not really much more you want to say about Wolves. It's just shit. Simple as that. I mean, I think until they get a new ownership, it ain't gonna change. Simple as that. I think it just goes downhill until the ownership changes. And I think
they've accepted that they're going down.
Yeah, of course. I think Wolves fans would agree. I think the biggest problem is the ownership, and there's nothing else to it, really.
2 points in 18 games, man. Flipping now.
I'm telling you,
pretty sure if they lose to United or draw to United, on Tuesday, then that means they are the first team in Premier League history to not get a win in the first half of the season.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
That
I
is
told
insane.
you, they are the worst Premier League side in history. I remember
And the thing is,
when people were trying to argue Derby with.
You don't want to say too much, because again, they could get a win against United in the next game. But
I don't think that changes anything.
You can't really see where they're going to get their next result. And
to be fair, that was the best opportunity to get a result from us.
I don't even know,
because we're losing a lot of good players.
They're playing West Ham on next weekend, so God forbid that's going to be a stinky game.
Look, they are currently 16 points away from being out of the relegation zone. That's 5 wins and a draw, and that's only if you catch up to what the current points are. Do you know what I mean? So they're honestly, there's no comeback.
And that's hoping as well that the other team doesn't win any of the games.
That's what I'm saying. With the current points total, if they win the games and Forest lose all their games, and even then West Ham might win games, Burnley might win.
Very likely situation.
I feel like they're down and out, unfortunately for them.
Yeah.
So it's quite sad to see. But
100%.
Let's move on to the next game. We don't want to mention Wolves too much. Actually, why is this changed to the next match? Okay, there we go. Let's talk about another team that are facing the drop. West Ham versus Fulham. Al, go ahead.
Bro, like, where do you even begin? Like, I don't even enjoy watching football anymore. Genuinely, like, week in, week out, like, you have the hope. It's the hope that kills, man. It is the hope that kills. Every week you think, this is it. It's going to change. And I thought this would be it. I said this was a must-win game. I said the next 4 games for us are must-win games, right? Because of the opponents that we have. And it's no disrespect to the opponents we have. But you can kind of forgive the last 6 fixtures, because they were pretty hard fixtures, Bournemouth, who at the time weren't, quite on the form that they're on now. You had like the likes of Villa, you had the likes of City, you had who else did you have in there? Man United, Brighton, some good teams. So you can kind of forgive those results. But this result and the way we played, like, look, man, you would have thought we would win this game. I thought we would have won this game, bro. Like, when I'm watching the game and the chances we're making, I thought we were going to win it. And the fact that we never scored, it was just beyond me. And I just don't know what more I can really say. Like, I'm beyond frustrated at this point. Like, I'm just disappointed. I'm depressed, like, watching football. It doesn't bring any joy to me anymore, man. It genuinely brings no joy watching football anymore. Because it's just constant week in, week out, having the hope thing and we might win this game, to just go on and lose. And from stupid mistakes. Like, I'm not gonna, bash any. I'm not gonna bash Ollie Scholes, because obviously the goal that we conceded has really come from his mistake. But he's a youngster, and it was very unlucky, and it's very unfortunate.
He looked devastated, by the way. I feel
so bad for him, and
as much as I can laugh, because it was a kind of a comical mistake, completely miskicking it.
He's young player,
I feel really bad.
And you just got to hope that he can come back from this, because it really is sad to see. You never want to see this with your young players. But where do I begin? I'll begin with the fucking ownership, because they have to fucking go. They are a disgrace. They have ruined this club from the inside out with all the decisions they've made, from changing the stadium, okay, putting us in a fucking bowl which you can't create any atmosphere in, when we had one of the best stadiums in terms of creating an atmosphere in the league, in Upton Park, and now we're in a fucking bowl which we're nowhere near the pitch in, right? We're renting it, so we can't even do anything to it. Okay, so it's just taking the fucking piss. Then they're putting no direction into the ownership, into the club, right? With some of the signings we're making, they're making last minute signings because they've seen the fan base, the outrage on the fan base this season, like with the midfielders when we finally signed them after the season had started, when it was quite clear that we needed midfielders, and like. Just everything that all the decisions they've made ever since they come in have all been shit. Sacking Tim Steitman, in my opinion, was one of the worst things they did. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure Mark Noble might be the sporting director now, which if is the case, as much as I love him and he is a club legend, he isn't a sporting director. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't have the nous to be a sporting director.
You need experienced people, not people just ex-legends.
Tim Steitman
You know what I mean?
was able to convince Kudus to come to the club. As much as I hate him now, at the time, that's crazy. He convinced Alvarez. He's convinced. He was such a good sporting director. And now what? Like, I'm surprised the players would even want to come to the club at this point. Hearing that they want to sign Adama Traore and fucking... Then there was rumours about Strand Larsen. All the rumours I've heard about transfers has made me realise how fucked we are with this ownership. Because it shows that they're not really looking at what needs to be like what positions need to be signed, what players need to be signed, what kind of profile of players need to be signed. It's just beyond me. Thinking that like bro, the fact that I haven't heard one rumour about signing a centre back is pissing me off. Because in my opinion, that needs to be priority, and then a striker. I think those are two priority signings, because we clearly have a problem with finishing, which makes me want to move on to Nuno, who, look, I'm not trying to say Nuno out whatsoever. He's, I'm Nuno in no matter what. I don't care what anyone else is saying. Seeing some of the fan base saying that they want him out, that's absolute blasphemy, right? Because he is a good manager, but he's working with fucking shit right now. Like, what do you want him to do? You know what I mean? He's working with like no depth on the bench, so making substitutions, like, there's nothing he can do. But one problem I have with him at the moment is the fact that he's not starting Wilson. Mate, you've won 2 fucking games all season, yeah, and Wilson started both of them. What decision made you think not to start him anymore? Does Kilman and Paqueta have something on you that we just don't know about? Because there's no fucking reason these two should be starting every game. They right, Paqueta or whatever, he could start if it's in his natural position. But Kilman, God forbid, that man is the worst centre-back that's ever played for this club. Maybe in Premier League history. Because fuck me, he is shit. I've had enough of him. I don't want to see him anymore. Look, Mavropanos, he's good this season, but he's not any better, unfortunately. But when you got Igor on loan, like, make some fucking use out of him, bro.
Bro, at this point,
you know what I mean? What's the point? The other two are shit. Play the other guy, bro. What's he done to deserve this, bro? I don't know anymore, man. It's just like the club's it's rotten from the top to the bottom. So
at this point, yeah, Kilman's very position as a dog at this point, because he just likes to get fucked out of back. Like, every game, I'm just seeing Kilman get fucked every single week.
No wonder why you signed him, especially the owner.
No wonder, the owner why he signed him. Yeah,
but
likes watching people go.
Credit to Fulham because they got the win. So even though they, no offense to them, they were getting bad all game, still managed to, come out with the win. So there's not much more I can say, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you say they got battered. I mean, they had probably more chances than you, and probably
if you watch
forced
the game,
more saves.
I promise you, they did not. I promise you.
Anyway,
that's why
the reason obviously they equalized. Okay, my bad. Sorry. Yeah. Let's talk about how Harry Wilson was involved in another goal, probably being Fulham's most creative player. Again, the goal came from a mistake.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I know it came from a mistake. It still was a good cross. He put it on a plate for Raul Jimenez.
Nice.
Again, it's a moment of quality from him. It's a great cross. Do you know what I mean? like I said, still a
It's
mistake.
calamitous
but
mistakes, bro. It's Tadibo not marking
it
his
happens
man.
when you
and
get punished.
that, bro.
You get punished in the Premier League for that, and that's
No, I
just
agree. I agree.
how it is. So it's very sad for the kid,
Of
Skulls,
course, and I
because
feel bad
like
for him.
Ali's been praising him quite a lot and says he wanted to see him start a lot more. But again, Jimenez is a proven striker who's done it in multiple clubs and over multiple seasons, and Wilson's one of Fulham's best players this season. So yeah, those two linking up to get the goal, and yeah, that's. I don't know, Hassan. Do you want to mention anything about Fulham?
Not really.
There's not much
Not
you
really
can
much I can
mention,
talk
is there?
about.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, not really. We've covered everything pretty much.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So let's move on to the next game, and another interesting game. Aston Villa beat Chelsea away from home 2-1, and that seems to be the scoreline they're always getting against these big teams. 2-1, coming back from 1-0 down. What a result for Villa. But if we talk about Chelsea's side of things, I mean, Joao Pedro getting another goal. He's starting to pick up a bit of form for Chelsea. I mean, Reece James doing what Reece James does, getting an assist. But I hear loads of people complaining about how Cole Palmer is ineffective in the attacking midfield position because there's too much going on in the middle, and how Pedro Neto and Garnacho are pretty much useless on the wings. So, what do we think about that?
Yeah, no, their wingers are fucking shite. And the fact that they signed about fucking 20 billion wingers and they've all been shite is just beyond me. Like, bro, just like, yeah, because I think Cole Palmer's better on the wing. He's been playing better when he was on the wing. I think he wants to play on the fucking wing. And I just don't know. I think Maresca's clearly making a mistake by not playing him on the wing. As simple as that. Neto and Garnacho have not done enough to deserve to play on the wing, or even play in general, or especially Garnacho. All he's done is play and fucking miss chance after chance, right? So, yeah, Maresca's clearly making a problem, making a mistake by not, maybe utilizing Palmer better. But then when you look at it, like, maybe you could argue you could put. I mean, I think, is Delap still injured or something? Like, I'm not sure, because
Think so. No, he played. He got subbed down.
So what I was going to
he's
say
on the
is,
bench.
why don't you play Pedro in the cam, Delap in set striker, and then maybe Palmer in the wing?
Or
I want
even
to say as
Estevao
well.
at Cam.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I want to say as well, as Gibson's, right, you're sat there looking at Garnacho benching you. Like, that's a big insult. Like, that is a slap across the face right there.
Is it even his fault, bro? I think
is.
Maresca is just like, he's good, but
That's because
he's
delusional.
making
Argentinian links, you know what I mean?
mistakes in terms of selection. I think not his
Yeah.
tactics, but selection wise, I think he's made some mistakes that there. To be honest,
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Very, very poor selection, as you say, and it cost them in the game probably because they're not creating,
enough. Yeah,
enough to sort of put the game to bed. Even though obviously, Aston Villa scored 2 goals and 2 good goals, I would say, from Watkins, coming off the bench, and within half an hour getting the 2 goals to complete the comeback and keep their win streak ongoing. It's insane how informed they are and how they keep on scraping these results. And like Ali said earlier, these type of wins are probably not sustainable. And can they keep it up, or do they need to find a different way of playing to sort of dominate games?
Yeah, 100%. I think we saw what happened to Liverpool at the start of the season. Started getting lucky wins, last minute winners, and all that. So I feel like with a team with like Villa, for example, if they keep scraping wins like this, it will catch up to them against good teams. Like, they've got Arsenal next week, so it's gonna be a very tough game for them. So yeah, can this be the game to end the 10-game winning streak in the Premier League? Who knows? We'll have to see in it. But I think that there's a strong chance of them losing that streak. Like, it's not good. I mean, we've said this about Arsenal as well, how they've been scraping wins as well. But I feel like as Villa, because Villa's squad is still good, right? But I don't think it's as good as Arsenal's, in it.
I don't think it's the depth's the problem for them.
Yeah. So like, if Arsenal got an injury, whatever, it's not a problem. They could stick in like a player who's still very good. You know what I mean? Whereas Villa, if they lose a player, I mean, the fact they're doing it with Lindelof at the back,
they're cooked.
Yeah. I'm surprised they got Lindelof playing at.
They're cooked.
He's not bad, Lindelof. He really isn't that bad.
He's not bad, but it's not quite.
But he's not like a top, like in a team that should be in top 3 or top 4. You know what I'm trying to say? So I'm surprised they're doing those players, but fair enough. You got to respect it, I guess. And you got to blame Chelsea. I mean, defensively, you spoke about Chelsea's defense, how they lack experience, and it's Everton Badiashile as well, so you could blame it on him as well. But I think that the defense needs to be sorted out for Chelsea. Like, you invested so much money in the wingers, and yet your defense is like that. Like, come on, there's some big
defense. They've invested in so many places, and they're still not at the level they should be.
I think they need some experience. That's the problem. They're signing too many young players.
Like you say, I think it's a very young team still. I think, but in the defense, you need experience. One thing I will say is, I think Robert Sanchez actually hasn't been that bad this season.
Oh, he's had a good game, to be fair.
Pretty good, and he was unlucky on one of the goals. There was also a penalty controversy in the game where there was a handball, which, let's be fair, it was definitely a handball. So that's another situation with VAR that just got overlooked, which is just it's just so bad. And like, I'm not even gonna keep talking about it because we all know how shit VAR is. So there's no point of just keep going back to it. But I forgot what I was gonna say now. Do you know what? Villa Arsenal next game. Do you know what? It reminds me of Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker in WrestleMania, man. Can Arsenal end the streak? Will they end the streak?
We'll have to see.
I mean, they have to if they want to keep up the challenge and for the league and to stay top. Because I think City, no matter who they play, I know they're playing Sunderland, but they need to win Arsenal. And if they don't win this game, this is their first big test in a while. Yeah. And like I was saying, can they perform in the big games? They need to. Will they? Is the question.
I can't wait to watch that game, though. I can't lie.
It's an exciting game, very exciting game, 100%. And we'll probably mention it a little bit later, maybe. But let's move on to the next one. It is Sunderland versus Leeds, the two promoted sides getting a 1-1 draw. Now, when you look at the way they played, they don't look like they've just been promoted. They look like they're Premier League regulars. Do you know what I mean? They look very, very good and consistent, and it's quite impressive to see how two teams that come up from the Championship look this good. And those two, with the way they're playing, it doesn't look like they're going to get relegated. I mean, looking a bit at the Sunderland side of things, both goals were very, very good, by the way. And it was just a good game generally. So, they look like Premier League quality teams. What do you guys think?
Honestly, I was surprised that no one won this game because obviously Sunderland hit the bar as well from the header, which was a very good cross from a Dingra, who's been really good for Sunderland. A very good player. And even Leeds had chances as well. But, what a game. Fair play. These are kind of games where previous seasons you'd be like, yeah, this is a dead game. You know what I mean? Probably like a 0-0 shit draw. It was obviously a draw, but it was a fucking good game, bro. Fair play to these two teams. Obviously, worrying for me because Leeds, well, I was hoping that maybe Leeds would be the other team to get relegated, so West Ham don't get relegated. But looks like that's not going to happen anymore because Leeds are managing to get results. Bro, are they unbeaten in the last 5 games or so?
Yeah,
that's
at least.
Yeah, we're cooked.
Yeah, it is 5 games. Yeah.
Oh, West Ham are so cooked, man.
And they lost 3-2 as well to see. It wasn't even a bad loss as well. When you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Leeds are
they're playing really, really well,
good, man.
And give credit what credit's due for Leeds.
They needed time, I feel like, to get in the Premier League and settle in.
Daniel Farke, what a manager!
Yeah, doing very, very well.
Him and Calvin.
Yeah, as I said, they need more time to settle in. I feel like because obviously when you first get promoted, it's gonna be difficult to adapt to the new teams and better players and stuff. So I feel like they needed time to settle in, and I think they're doing.
It's kind of crazy to think that Leeds actually had Rafinha at one point, and how now he's one of the best players in the world.
Oh yeah. I'm probably should have got Ballon d'Or, but yeah.
Well, I guess that's another discussion for another day.
Conversation for another time, yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Exactly.
Yep.
I don't know. Is there anything else you guys want to mention about the game? It was a good game.
Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah,
Let's talk about Calvert-Lewin.
He's on a mad
6 goals in a row.
Break that Jamie Vardy record of 11.
How many is he on now?
I mean, hopefully he can prove us wrong.
6.
Yeah, he's got a long way to go.
Halfway there.
Who have they got next?
Still got a long way to go.
Good question. They have
City, innit?
Liverpool.
No.
Oh, sorry. Liverpool, that was it.
Yeah, so
I could see him scoring against Liverpool.
Yeah, to be fair, I can see that.
Yeah, but I feel like it'll be very tough for him to sustain that for the next 5 games. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But
hopefully for him,
we'll have to see. I think it's possible. Yeah, I don't see it realistically, but if it happens, that'd be pretty cool.
100%.
That's about it, really.
Do you guys want to move on to the next game? There's not really much more we can discuss about this one.
Yeah, not really, no.
Okay, and the final game of the weekend was Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. Tottenham getting a valuable away win, 1-0. Archie Gray grabbing his first senior goal, and definitely a good result for
Tottenham.
Thomas Frank, and Tottenham, of course. But when you look at the way the game went, they might not have deserved it, to be honest.
Yeah, Crystal Palace missed a lot of chances there.
You say that, but
That's what I'm
Tottenham
saying.
scored a couple goals that were disallowed, so...
True.
It's Richarlison. I mean, just because it's Richarlison, they're going to disallow the goals. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
It was going to disallow or lose the game, you know what I mean?
He's the new Werner.
Yeah.
The amount of offsides this guy gets is unbelievable. I know one of the goals, the offside
he was
wasn't
offside.
actually
I think it was
him.
Bergvall was offside.
I know, but like still, bro. The amount of goals he's involved with, that's just offside. Like
He's just a bad cuss, you know what I mean?
Yeah, honestly.
Like he scores goals that are good goals, last minute goals, and over celebrates too early.
Yeah.
And then obviously sees his team not get the win
Tell you what,
or result.
Yeah. I was just going to say it's very worrying for Palace because like some of their form dropped off big time.
Yeah. But you can maybe say in the game itself we should have done better finishing wise, and that's a bit of an issue when obviously a player like Mateta isn't getting enough goals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was doing very well for them last season. Obviously they had Eze last season, the season before that Elise.
I think they're missing
and
Sarr,
those two created a lot of chances for Mateta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think they're missing Sarr, to be fair. I mean, he's out on AFCON now, isn't he? So.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
and I've praised him a lot this season. He's been very good for Palace, and yeah, man, he's just. I think they're missing him, but obviously, I did talk about like teams like Palace, Bournemouth, even Leeds, and these kind of teams. Their biggest problem they can't sustain like a good run of form because of their depth. Like yes, Leeds are, for example, they're on a 5-game unbeaten streak, but it won't be sustainable enough for them because of the depth. One injury, like for example, if Calvert-Lewin gets injured for Leeds, where are the goals coming from? That's it. They're cooked.
100%.
And then Palace, on the other hand, if one of their players, it doesn't even have to be an injury. If one of their like key players loses their form, it just, you know what I mean? It ruins the whole team. So like at the moment,
Mateta was that key player for them as well.
So Mateta hasn't been really doing well for them recently, and it's shown in their results. And at the end of the day, game's the game. Yeah. It's
almost like with the injuries, it's like another one bites the dust. It feels like every single game they're getting injuries. I believe Richards, the centre back, was injured for them as well. So
a centre back,
you know
which is what we're talking about. Yeah, which is the problem about the squad depth, is what we were trying to mention this whole time.
That's what I'm saying.
About
the amount of games
these teams.
they got to play. There's another midweek game coming up.
Yeah.
You know, they
I do think Pino was good though
until the playoff. Sorry.
I do think Pino was good. He had that nice like Trivela like cross.
Pino's a good player. I think Pino's a good player, but again, I don't think someone like him can like do it by himself, especially in a team like this who are not performing.
Yeah. They don't have enough depth. They're too tired.
When you had Eze and Elise, these players can carry you through games, even if everyone else is bad. But they don't, like, as good as Sarr is, as good as Matera is, they're not quite at that level at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, do you want to mention the Tottenham side of things, or
I was gonna say for Tottenham, I'm happy for Gray because obviously he got, how do I say, he got thrown out of the bus for his like mistake for that goal. So I'm happy that he got the goal. Kind of like make him more confident because he's a young player. He needs that confidence to do well. So yeah, I'm happy he got his first goal for Tottenham, and hopefully he continues to be a good player for them. And other than that, don't really have much to say for Tottenham. Just don't think. I mean, the disallowed goals, obviously some really nice worked goals, but obviously being offside, you know what I mean. So it takes away from that. But I do think they played okay. I think Tottenham away as well. Fair enough. You got to respect them.
100%. And that is it for the Premier League results side of things. Before we give you our predictions for the next set of games, the midweek ones, we will probably load up the leaderboard. I do not know how it's going. I believe it's probably very similar to what it was last week in terms of points. It's bleak for me. I mean, I may as well get that shirt pre-ordered quickly. and then I'll burn it straight after I get the forfeit done. But yeah, let's go on to the predictions. So I'm gonna, as usual, I'll read out the scores. Oh, sorry, the games, and you guys will give me your results or predictions actually. Burnley versus Newcastle.
3-1 Newcastle.
I've put down 2-1 Newcastle.
2-0 Newcastle. Chelsea versus Bournemouth.
I've gone 2-0 Chelsea.
I'm going to change it to 3-0. I'll go 3-0.
I'm going 3-1 Chelsea. Forest versus Everton.
I've gone 2-1 Forest.
I've gone for 1-1.
I've gone 2-1 Forest as well. West Ham versus Brighton.
I've gone 2-1 Brighton.
I've gone for 3-1 Brighton.
I've also gone 3-1 Brighton. Arsenal versus Villa.
I've gone 1-1.
I've gone for 2-1 Arsenal.
I've also gone 2-1 Arsenal. Manchester United versus Wolves.
I've gone 3-1 United.
I've gone for 3-0 Man United.
I've gone 2-0 Man United. Palace versus Fulham.
2-1 Palace.
I've gone for 1-1.
I've gone 2-1 Fulham. Liverpool versus Leeds.
3-1 Liverpool.
I've gone for 3-2 Liverpool.
I've gone 2-1 Liverpool. Brentford versus Tottenham.
2-0 Brentford.
3-1 Brentford.
3-1 Brentford for me as well. And for the final game, Sunderland versus Manchester City.
3-1 City.
I've gone for 3-1 City as well.
I've gone 2-1 City. I feel it'll be a bit closer. And that is it for the prediction side of things. Let's see what happens. Again, leave your predictions in the comments below. Do you agree with us? Do you agree with what we discussed about the results as well? But before we end the video, Al, can you give us the quiz for the next player, please?
Of course I can. The first fact is he became the youngest ever player to represent his country at senior level when he made his international debut at just 17 years old. The second fact, he began his professional career at Swansea City and was part of their squad that won promotion to the Premier League in 2011, helping establish their possession-based style. For the third fact, he followed Brendan Rodgers to a new club in 2012, transferring from Swansea City to Liverpool. For the fourth fact, during the Euro 2016, he scored a decisive goal against Russia that helped his national team finish top of their group. And for the fifth and the final fact, he is a Welsh midfielder famously nicknamed the Welsh Xavi. Let us know if you know who that is in the comments, and we will reveal him in the next episode.
I think I know who it is, but let's see if you guys do. Thank you guys for coming into the video. Really appreciate it. Like we said, any suggestions, leave it in the comments below. This week's midweek video will be more reaction to obviously the midweek games. So that will be that. And hopefully next week we'll go back to doing a bit more content. So if you guys do have any suggestions, please leave that in the comments below. Any sort of football-based videos, give us your thoughts. But that is it, guys. Thank you very much for coming in. Please leave a like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get notified when we upload videos, and we will see you on the next one. Take care, guys.
See ya.